Hi, this is a craft that we need to make to give to our seniors. So each of you will either have one or two depending on how many seniors you have. So every year at Kimberton Waldorf School, the seniors are given a little gnome, and it's called a gnome away from home. So when they're at college, they can take their little gnome with them and they can think of their little buddy, or they can think of their time at Kimberton Waldorf School. So we are going to make a gnome much like the gnome we made at Christmas time for the craft fair. So what you will have in your little sack is a triangle for a beard. You will have a sock full of rice. I did this for you because I wanted to make sure you had enough rice and that it was a good size, and it was a mess. So you have your rice. And then a long sock. And you'll also have some fluff, and you'll have a little wooden bead like this, and it's got some big holes in the ends. This is your nose. So what you need to do first is you need to find where the heel is on your sock. And you can see here that I have my heel here. So I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna trim right across here. All right, so now I need to take this piece and make my hat. So the print on this sock is of kitties fishing. So to have the kitties fishing right way up, I need to cut it this way. So I don't want to have my hat have this really funny little heel on it. So you'll need to take the same pair of scissors and cut right here. All right, now you can cut up and create a triangle here, and you're probably gonna have to get rid of that up there. And it's okay if you have a little smaller of a hat. And then, so I have this is my hat, then I need to turn this right side to right side and sew this. I'm not going to do that because I don't want you to have to sit and watch me sew this. So this is where we're at. So I've cut this, and you want to sew these two sides and leave this bottom open. So I'm going to set this one aside because I already have one started so you can see this. So I have my little guy, here's my little man, and I've sewn my sides. See, it was the wrong side to wrong side because now I need to turn this puppy right side out. And now you can see that it's his little hat, and then the seams are on the inside. So there's a little bit of fluff in there. This is not wool fluff, this is acrylic, but I didn't have time to get wool, so we're gonna make do with this. So you can stuff the little fluff in here. It's just a little bit, it's just to hold it up a little bit so it'll be a little hat-like. Then I have my beard and my nose. So I wanna put my nose on my guy first. And I'm using a bigger needle. You can use just a regular needle. I'm using embroidery floss and my bead. And I'm going to put that right about here on my guy. Do you see here's the rubber band. Here I'm putting the bead about right here. And I'm going to go through the sock all the way through. And then I can thread my bead right on my needle. And you want to go through a few times because you don't want him to be a loose-nosed guy. If you don't want to do this, I'm doing this because if I was doing this on my own, I would hot glue that nose on there in a heartbeat. But because you're doing this with children, and it's good for them to use their little hands and sew because it helps their little fingers learn, and that's important. So my needle came unthreaded, and they really probably will not be able to thread their needle. You can ask them to try. Hey, why don't you try to thread your needle, and then I'll help you after you try once or twice. So it's gonna come through again, there we go. And then I'll just go under here and tie a knot. So he's got a snug little nose on. Clearly this is a wooden bead sewed to a sock that has rice in it. So nobody is going to say that doesn't look authentic, because it already has it's already a sock full of rice. So then I'm just pulling the wool, I'm finding the middle of my beard. You could even take a pen and you could fold your beard in half and find the middle of your beard. Make a little pen mark if you want. You don't have to. I'm just doing this if you really want to. And you could put this right under his little nose. And you could even use a pin to hold it in place. I can just stab this in because that's fine. And I'm gonna hold this up here. I have another needle threaded, and this does not need to be perfect. Children have a hard time sewing through beard fake fur because it's fluffy. So just a few little stitches here and there. Nobody's expecting this to be a wearable garment or anything because they're a sock full of rice. So nobody's going to be expecting this to be washable, or I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm sorry, guys. You hear me. You hear me. Don't put it in the washing machine. Be gentle with it. But I'm going to keep coming around, little stitches. I want this to be as close to his nose as I can because that will make it look a little funny if it's not close enough to his nose. So I'm going behind the nose and pulling that little beard as close as I can. I may have cut this a little bit big, but it's better to be a little bit big than a little bit small. If you get a gigantic piece of beard, trim some off if it's not working. So I'm gonna go all the way around here. And do you see how easy this is for me? This is not easy for your children. When we made these little gnomes, it probably took us, I'd say 2 or 3 hours all together with 16 children. So don't beat yourself up. It might take a minute for them to do this. But it would be great if you could sit down and just get it done. So then we have our gift for our seniors that are going off to college. So now I have my little bead on there. I have my beard on, so you can see this. Here's my beard. Here's my rump-a-shay. Here's his little bead nose right there. And now I can just tuck his sock, this sock in that's still sticking out, right over this and have it come right up to that edge of the bead, tuck the bead back. The bead makes it look so gnomey-like, you know, there's a little nose. And if you want, you can roll this edge of the hat up. I'm just gonna tuck these 2 edges in because it looks a little nicer, but I'm not worried about this rolled edge. I picked a kind of sock that's not going to be so fray-y for us. So much fraying on the edge because I didn't want the kids to have to mess with a fraying sock. You may want to spread this out just a titch, and then I'm just going to go and sew this little hat. And again, this doesn't have to be sewn down super tight. It might be nice to have some nice strong stitches, but it doesn't have to be perfect. The love of these gnomes is that they look like children have made them. That's what makes I think that's why they are so cute. As you can see, the signature of the children and their little hands and how funny they look. So once I come around here, and you can see the stitches, that's okay. That's okay. My stitches are tiny because I have grown-up hands. And that's just the rub. Let's see here if I can get into the sock. See, it takes a second to get all the way down into that sock and sew it on. So now I'm back to the beginning. I might put another stitch in there. You could even go around twice. That would be twice as nice to go around twice. And sometimes if you notice that they've missed a couple spots, just be like, oh, let's go around one more time. It's twice as nice. Twice as nice when we have extra stitches, isn't it? And then it's nice and secure. And that did not take me very much time at all, but maybe you will cut this top off the sock and spend a little bit of time sewing the hat. And then maybe you'll set it aside for the day. But see, I'm having a little shedding. We're having a little shedding. So there is what we're going to make. There he is. He's beautiful. He's got this puffy nose. Maybe I'll give this to one of the senior advisors because I've just made a gnome and I probably have too many of these around my house. Anywho, but so I would like you to make one of these, or make two if you have two special friends. And I'd like you to put a tag on it that has your special friend's name on it and your child's name. Please help if you could write that, because I have to sort it out and I want to make sure that I can read it. Thank you.